Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tiki with Ray. And today we are in the North Shore Laguna McMinimans in Bothell, Washington. And today I have two people on my show. Can you guys introduce yourselves?
I am Tom Head.
And I'm Tian Duan.
I'm also known as Carmen Gia.
Carmen Gia.
Carmen Gia.
Do you have one?
No. No, Carmen Gia is a character out of The Producers.
Yeah.
You know the show, The Producers?
Yeah.
He was the very, very gay attendant to the producer of Springtime for Hitler, the show. And
you gotta love Mel Brooks.
He's so flamboyant and so wonderful, and I'm not. So I thought that would make a good nom de plume.
You know, did you ever remember the movie History of the World Part 1?
Oh, of course.
So I remember watching that as a kid, right? And then at the end they have like, coming up next, History of the World Part 2, where it's like Jews in space and Hitler on ice. And I remember as a young kid like thinking like, all right, well, when's it going to come out? When's it going to come out?
They're still talking about doing it before
No, they did.
Mel dies.
No, it just came out. They literally did History of the World Part 2. It was like a kind of like a show on Netflix or something like that. And then they actually do Jews in space. But back then, I didn't realize like that was a joke.
Yeah. How would you know as a kid? You wouldn't. No.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Literal.
I'm like, all right, sure, I'm down. But anyway, we're not here to talk about the history of Mel Brooks. We're here to talk about Surf by Surfwest, which is a surf. What would you say? I want to say a surf show, but like a surf
event.
A surf event that's here in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the name is a takeoff of like South by Southwest down in Texas.
Yep.
Well, what exactly is Surf by Southwest?
Surf by Surfwest.
Surf by Surfwest.
It is Seattle's surf answer to the events that are happening really all over the world now.
Yeah.
So we were just talking about Surfer Joe's party in Livorno, Italy.
And you're going.
Yeah.
He's going.
4 days.
He's also going to Surf Guitar 101 in, where is it, Long Beach this year?
Maybe Long Beach this year.
Long Beach.
3 days. No tickets available.
And so it's a fantastic scene, surf right now. And surf has grown here in Seattle really in incredible leaps and bounds. We've got, I don't know.
Like more recently? Or
Oh,
over the
yeah.
years?
No, we're still getting all new bands. One of the newest bands to just pop up is Desolate Coast, which came out of The Verb, which is a long-lived surf band here in Seattle. And they're world class already. I mean, they've been out, a year and a half now? Something like that.
Couple years maybe, probably.
And they're dynamite, absolute killer. And so, and if you look around, you start looking at the amount of shows in Seattle now, there's a surf band tagged on with all sorts of other bands. Punk bands, rockabilly, rock and roll, surf. And so we've got probably 14, 15 solid surf bands in the Pacific Northwest, ranging from Calgary. There's a band from Calgary called the 427s. We've got bands that come down from Vancouver, the El Caminos from Vancouver. We've got a band from Boise, the Seatopians.
Yeah.
So, and now there's
it'd be funny
who is it? Dusty
it
from.
It would be funny if the band was called the Famous Potatoes.
It wouldn't be a bad idea.
Boise,
I'm sure there's
so
one
there's a
down
surf band out there from Idaho. You would think of a name called because that's what's on the license plate.
Yeah,
Famous
of course.
Potatoes.
I'm from Spokane. We spit across the border and we hit a potato.
Well, the Boss Martians.
Absolutely.
Well, they've been around since the 90s.
Exactly.
And they've kind of morphed over time. They started off kind of surfy, and then they went full on rock and roll. And then they kind of went back to doing like the full on surf.
Yeah.
And they're still killing it.
They actually were frat rock, right?
Well, they started out with surf music, and then they went to power pop, and now they're back to surf again. Yeah. But so jumping on what Tom said, so it's kind of funny. You talk to Evan from the Boss Martians or Ted from the Pilgrims.
Yeah.
When they first started, there was no surf scene, so they never really played with surf bands.
Yeah.
So you talk to Ted now, he says it's really weird to him to play with surf bands because that's not how they came up.
Yeah.
And so Now the difference is like Tom said, surf bands are playing with different other bands, but the real difference is like now pretty much every 2-3 weeks you can find a bill with at least a surf band, and sometimes a bill with all surf bands too, and that's never been the case. So that's what Tom was saying. It's like it's been amazing to see the growth of surf music here in the Seattle area.
And a lot of them are hungry. Like we've got a lot of bands that are pushing to play.
Yeah.
Cosmic Rays are.
I had them on my show.
Yeah.
I had them on my show. Those guys are great.
And they're hungry. They want to play all the time. They're always practicing. They're honing the edge, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the other bands are doing the same thing. Bonsai Surf.
Oh.
You know, that
been around a long time.
was the first surf band that I really fell in love with here in Seattle.
Yeah.
And them and the Verb kind of set me on my way. The top band that really did it to me was at the Rockabilly Ball, and I don't know, it was 16 or 15 or 16.
Yeah.
But it was when Leon Berman of the Rockabilly Ball.
We're shaking the shack here on 90.
That's right.
The proctologist.
The proctologist of rock and roll.
A wonderful friend of mine, and I was so sorry to see when he decided not to play anymore, not to do his show anymore. But for the past years, he had something called Surfing the Shack. And that's
Surfing the Shack?
Surfing the Shack, and that's where I got a really taste of surf.
Yeah.
And then I went to one of his rockabilly shows. It was a surf show, and saw Aloha Screwdriver, a very famous tiki drink, I guess.
Yeah.
And they combined theater along with music.
Yeah.
They at one point they broke off and started having a laser gun fight. They ran all through the crowd shooting lasers at each other, and I've had them back to play my shows many times.
Yeah.
And they have some of the best theater out there. The last show they did, they broke their setup. They brought the drum up right fast up to the bar, and the bartender put a bottle of whiskey out in 12 glasses while they were playing, and he's still beating on the drums. He's pouring out drinks for everybody, and then there were 12 drinks, and they got served for free to the crowd.
Yeah.
And then the band got back up on stage. A great stagecraft from Aloha Screwdriver. Still some of my best friends.
When did you guys start the Surf by Surfwest? When was the first one?
2019.
2019.
Yep.
And so what happened is that we have a great partner. And, when we do these, we should have Dan along. We really should.
We wouldn't be able to fit him in here.
Yeah, that's true.
There's not enough seats.
Dan is the owner of Daryl's Tavern at North Aurora and Shoreline, and he presents 5 nights of every week of live music, and he's a great partner to have.
I played there.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I played.
With your Queen Wasp band?
Damned I'm Cramped, which is a Damned tribute band.
4 out.
So we played all Damned covers.
Wow, cool.
Daryl's is awesome.
Yeah,
well,
is awesome.
he's an entrepreneur, and he's always looking at ways to stretch his boundaries. And as he was building this outside stage he and I were discussing, possibilities.
Yeah.
And one of the possibilities was we could have an outside event and invite a couple of surf bands. Well, here we are today.
The challenge we have is we still want to make this Pacific Northwest centric.
Yeah.
But we also want to keep it fresh every year. And so the challenge is find that line between bringing new bands from outside the area and still letting a lot of the local bands play. It's like Tom was saying, on Friday we're going to have 2 local bands and 2 international bands. A band from UK and a band from France. On Saturdays.
What are those bands?
So on Friday, actually it's good that you asked that. The first band playing are called Earthlings. And what's of interest to the Tiki crowd is the lead guitarist Chip Doring. He's big in the Tiki scene.
Yeah.
And he's used to play in the Mercury 4 as well as Tiki Raps and Abagraphs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're the one of the bands playing.
I know Chip.
Yeah, Chip's a great guy.
Great guy.
He plays a Mosrite.
Yeah, exactly. A really cool guitar he made himself. The other bands are Sir Baldy. Well, he goes by Hipbone Slim, but people know him by Sir Bald Diddley, and he's been around since the 90s. He plays a mixture of like Link Gray-ish surf guitar as well as just old style rock and roll.
Yeah.
And then the Irradiates from France.
The Irradiates.
Yeah, really intense, heavy instrumental music that you probably wouldn't imagine surf when you think of surf. But they're still based, you can still have the surf origin there, and it's really intense. And then the Destroyers on Friday.
Oh, I love the Destroyers.
Oh, yeah.
Incredibly talented band. I was lucky enough to kind of be in on their inception. I won't say that I was instrumental.
No pun intended.
No pun at all.
With their growth. But
I don't want to say I was instrumental.
One day, one evening, I'm sitting at Daryl's on my throne where I keep court, and these three guys.
You have a throne at Daryl's.
Three guys, yeah.
Heary!
It's at the end of the bar.
Tom Head is here.
Down where they keep all the hard booze, So I know where to park. But they came with a demo tape, and they said, we're a new surf band and we hear you're the guy. Prince told me that you're the guy in Seattle that we got to see, and it was like, yes. And I think I had him play in a next month or two at one of my shows at Daryl's.
Yeah.
And now they're playing worldwide, so they're a fantastic band and good friends, and their original bass guitarist set me up with my radio show. So, yeah, I have good relations to those guys. They're swell, good musicians. Favorite lovely dark music.
Let's talk about the event coming up. So, what's the details? It's gonna be at Daryl's.
Yeah, 2 days. Friday night is 4 bands.
4 bands.
Doors at 7. First band at 8.
Yeah.
And then, like I went through the 4 bands already. On Saturday, it's going to be 10 bands.
10?
All local. First band is Plank, and they're a totally different kind of surf band.
Yeah.
Super heavy, kind of growly, more like a party rock band.
Yeah.
But the one thing that would interest the Tiki round, because we're doing Tiki with Ray, is the drummer. He goes by Eddie on Facebook, but his real name is Jim. He does all the carvings for the totems, and he's actually a beast on that drum. You watch him play, the guy is just wailing.
Best rock face ever.
Yeah.
He's just having so much
Best
fun.
rock face ever.
He does. He's got flies going in and out of his mouth because he's like, he's so good.
Was he good on drums? I don't know about his drum playing, but he made the best rock face.
And that's what counts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so after Plank, we have the Viking Surfers, and they're local. And I don't know if you've seen them or not, but they take at least half of their set. They take folk songs from Norway and kind of surfify them. And then the rest, they do covers, they do a couple originals.
Super good.
They're fun, yeah.
You would recognize the tunes from your childhood.
Well, I'm not from my childhood, but maybe yours.
Well, these are folk tunes from Norway that were popularized in the 50s and 60s.
Very, very popular in Ballard.
Yeah?
I think the next band is going to be Banzai Surf, which they've been around a long time. If you want to hear some kick-ass, great surf tunes you might have heard, come see Banzai Surf. They do a really good job of that, and they're high energy. All 3 musicians are great, super tight. I think next should be the Woodhavens. So they're really new, and they actually have only been around. This year will be 2 years, and their only live show was they played Surf by Surfwest last year, opening up our Saturday event.
Yeah.
This year they're playing again, their second show ever.
Yeah.
And if you like traditional trad sounding surf music with energy, they're it. I mean, it's amazing. And they're working on their full-length album right now. Yeah. Hopefully it'll be released in the next year or so. I think it'll be a huge hit when it finally gets released. So, yeah, if you get a chance, come out, catch them before they get huge.
Yeah. They haven't played nearly enough. I can't wait to see them.
Yeah.
It'll be great this year.
And then after that, it's going to be the band that you know, Cosmic Rays.
Cosmic Rays.
Yeah, they played every year we've had this, and they're recording a new album right now. From what they tell me, it's going to lean more towards Tiki. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, haven't heard any of it yet, but looking forward to it. Then after the Cosmic Rays, I believe we go... Oh, yeah, King of Hawaii. We've been trying to get them for a while, but they have a rough schedule. Their bassist is in Canada.
Yeah.
They have other members that play in other bands. the drummer is a pretty well-renowned jazz drummer.
Yeah.
So in the summers, a lot of times he's in Europe playing different festivals and concerts.
Yeah.
So it just happened this year. The schedule works out with that weekend is available.
Yeah.
So they're playing. So super excited to finally have them. Yeah.
Their lead guitar is Mark Klebeck, who is the CEO. Well, no, I don't think he's CEO. He's the owner of Top Pot Donuts.
Oh shit! I love Top Pot Donuts.
We regularly go to Top Pot Donuts, and just recently he has shared some of his fresh brewed coffee with me. He's a coffee aficionado, and he gave me 2 pounds of just dynamite fresh brewed. The coffee that's fresh brewed compared to what you get in the store is night and day. And he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He had to take it over because his roaster quit, so he had to learn fast, and he did. And he's super good at it. So great stuff, and great guy, killer band. Glad to have him this year.
Yeah.
Very glad.
Okay, so that takes care of the outdoors. So yeah, basically we play outdoors until like 8 because at 8 p.m. there's a noise ordinance in Shoreline.
Okay.
So then we move everything inside.
Oh, then it goes inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, inside. And then the first band up, Evan Stones, which I think a lot of people
saw
have heard.
them at my first Tiki con that I ever went to.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Great band. They play a lot of traditional sounding surf as well as stuff that's a little loungy also, and a lot of originals, but also a bunch of really great covers that people would know and recognize. They put on a great show. The band after that, Stereo Donkey, is great. They're from Bellingham. They played the first year in 2019.
Yeah.
They couldn't make it to the last two, but they're coming back this year, and we're super excited. And yeah, one of the better bands out there that people probably haven't heard much of.
And they've got famous members. One that used to be in Soundgarden. Their lead
Soundgarden?
Yeah.
Hero, the first bassist,
Hero,
is the
Yamamoto.
bassist.
Hero is in it.
Yes.
No way.
We're happy to have them this year. Very happy.
Oh, I do.
And Patrick Wickline, who is he does this art that's shadow art, and I haven't seen it in real life, but he just did a residence in Japan with his shadow art, and he spent a couple of months there. So we're glad to have him back and be able to play. So, you know, a lot of these guys are busy. You know, Klebeck with King of Hawaii. I mean, who could be more busy than that guy? He's playing our show, and we're really excited.
And the drummer for Stereo Donkey, also a jazz drummer. So the three musicians are super tight.
Yeah.
The headliner, Desolate Coast.
So
they've only been around a little bit, 2 years maybe at most. But three of the members were in a long time band here in Seattle called The Verb.
The Verb.
Yeah, really great. But yeah, so you can hear some Verb sound with them, but it's different. It's more introspective, but still also really melodic.
Yeah.
And they just released their second full length probably 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's excellent. I mean,
Dynamite
I hope
beat.
people show up for that because they're gonna treat to hear a really great album played by a band that knows how to play music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eric's an old hat, and it was funny because that when the Verb started playing, it was a very, very early surf, third wave, but still early surf for this town, and they had incredible equipment, and they were teenagers.
Yeah.
They had to have their moms drive them around, and I'm not kidding you. One of the members who I'm a friend with. They collected all this blonde Fender amps and preamps and reverb units, and the stuff is worth a fortune nowadays. But they went around and made sure to get it all back when it wasn't so precious. And now, I really miss the Verb. They were one of my favorite bands. I put on a anniversary show every December. And they used to be my band. That was the band. And so one year they called me and said they couldn't play anymore. And I was brokenhearted, but I'm glad to see the Desolate Coast is picking up where they left off. So Eric played trumpet in the Verb, and I think he still plays trumpet.
Yeah. Some of the songs left from trumpet.
Desolate Coast. So I love horns in surf.
No way. So how much? So if people want to go, can they get tickets? How much is it?
So basically for Friday, I'm trying to remember off my memory. I think it's $20 and then if you buy in advance, $15.
Okay.
And on Saturday it's $30, but you buy in advance, $25.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to kick a little bit of money that way. One thing I want to let you know, so one of the members of the Desolate Coast, Mike, he plays bass.
Yeah.
He's actually one of the co-owners of the Mike and Mike guitar bar in Fremont.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a small world.
It is a very small world. Yeah.
Oh, that's that. Well, but that's like the music scene in Seattle.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, it's not surprising that like the bass player from Soundgarden is like, you know, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And you got to see him because he puts on a great show
Yeah.
too. He doesn't just play bass, you know. And they've got great music and they've got a great theater, so it's good stuff.
Surf by
Surfwest.
Surfwest. And the date is, what's the date again?
July 21st and 22nd.
July 21st, 27th. And it sounds...
Daryl's Tavern.
At Daryl's Tavern. It's
18041 Aurora Avenue North.
Want to support the Tiki with Ray show and look cool doing it at the same time? Then head over to tikiwithray.com and buy yourself a Tiki with Ray shirt. They're only $20. Tony Canepa did the design and they're screen printed in America.